Good morning, guys. This is David here, and it's 9:30 in the morning, and I just finished my workout, and of course, I'm just about to have myself my second breakfast of the day. My first one was at 7 o'clock this morning, but it's I just want to share with you that this morning, man, it was a rough morning. Man, I had a hard time getting going. My intention was to get up at 5:30 this morning to get work done, and I wrestled myself out finally by 6:30, and my head was wild. It was all over the place. Managed to sit myself down and focus for 45 minutes going through a workbook called Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill. It's a pretty famous book. And it's not just the book, but it's an actual workbook. And so I spent 45 minutes going through the first chapter, which is the first of the 13 principles. And the first one is, of course, is desire, having a burning desire to achieve something beyond what you're presently doing. So I'm working through that chapter, which was a great way to start my Monday, considering how crazy my brain was when I first got out of bed. But even getting to the gym, halfway through, I wanted to quit. I wanted to go home. My blood sugar level was dropping. I couldn't focus. It was just really a rough start. And there could be 100 reasons why that was happening, but nevertheless, it was, and it was a struggle. And finally, I didn't want to talk to anybody. I finished my workout, 70% effort, but I got it done. I made my way home, and I'm just thinking, man, it just life. I thought life was going to be easy once you achieved a certain degree of knowledge and a certain degree of health, and it just it doesn't always get easier sometimes. So there's peaks and valleys, and this morning was definitely a valley. And I think I might be a little bit tired from my couple of weeks of travel. One of the things I look at is, and one of the reasons why I'm posting this is that I, people sometimes get the impression that those who have achieved a good degree of health, a good degree of financial security or knowledge, that it just they're in this place where you relatively live unscathed, and that couldn't be further from the truth. It just there's lots of, as they say, wall kicking moments, only in days ending in Y. There's lots of peaks in my life, but there's lots of valleys too, and it's and how I get through it. Of course, is what I call my three P's, which is one is purpose, and I have a purpose far beyond my own personal wants and desires. Yes, there's things I want for my life, financially, and the things I want for my children. But beyond that, when I look outside, when I'm wandering through stores, when I just spent 2 weeks traveling to the U.S. and I'm just heartsick to see the degree of illness and just general poor health that's so widespread, that has been considered normal now in a society, in a world that's seemingly gone to sleep and is almost blind to the fact that that's happening. So a big part of my purpose, of course, is really trying to help people wake up. And once we've awoken the public, then how do we lead them? How do we guide them? What are the tools we're going to give them? It's information is useless unless there's practical application and steps that you can get people to follow. So my purpose is much larger than my own wants and needs, and that really drives me forward. My children are a big part of my purpose as well. The second P is, of course, this whole idea of posture. Tony Robbins talks about posture in a way, what he talks about is state, being in a certain state. So somebody in a depressed posture, really, it makes no eye contact. They're kind of slumped over. They're breathing shallow. Or somebody who's confident and who's got a mission, stands tall. They stand tall. They're strong. They walk with a sense of purpose. And I'm trying to blend those 2 points together. So if I have a purpose, somebody who's out to change, who feels he can change the world or she can change the world, how would they stand? How would they walk? How would they walk across the parking lot? What would the actions? Would the actions be slow and apathetic, or would they be long strides filled with purpose? And when you get yourself into that physical state, your body changes, your internal chemistry changes to match it. So it's a really powerful tool and a really easy thing to do. But it's simply just a matter of having enough purpose-driven behavior to make that happen. And the last one, of course, is simply persistence, right? Just never, ever, 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 ever quit. And again, lots of wall-kicking moments, but one thing I've learned to do over time is have lots of coaches out there, lots of people I can talk to and touch base with when I'm frustrated. And this morning I was frustrated. I was really, really, really challenged. My brain feels better. I've got lots of work ahead of me for the next little while, but I'm moving forward with a better sense of purpose. My postures change, my attitudes change. One of the things I came home when I sat down before I posted this is I went through and did some EFT work, which is called tapping. emotional freedom technique. It's tapping. It's a series of acupressure points, pardon me, that you go through and you tap in a sequence to kind of interrupt with your brain patterns. I have lots of strategies to keep me on track because my brain has lots of strategies to take me off track. So I, it's like I'm playing, I'm playing Texas Hold'em every day with my brain. My brain decides it wants to go left. I have to find a way to bring it back to the midline. So it's not an easy journey up here all the time. And again, lots of bright points and lots of wonderful peaks in my life, but certainly lots of valleys. So this morning was a valley, but I found my way out. And just remember that the 3 Ps will do it for you, right? Having a very definite sense of purpose beyond you, right? Beyond your, our microscopic kind of views of what's possible. So greater sense of purpose. Check your posture. How does a person with posture and intent, how do they move? How do they carry themselves, right? What does that look like? What does that feel like? And that posture is very powerful. And of course, persistence, perseverance, you just never, ever, ever, ever quit. So hope your Monday started a bit easier than mine, but no matter what it is, it's just your sense of purpose, your posture, and your perseverance will guarantee you get through it relatively unscathed. And that's simply what life's all about.